I just barely made it into class and plopped down in my seat when my phone buzzed with a message. Big news. Wild stuff. I rubbed my eyes and let out a yawn. Go away. Just as I was about to shove the phone face down on the desk, the message pinged again, this time with a nervous little dog emoji. About your roommate. 100% real. Roommate. Which one? Theodore? My hand froze mid-motion. I cleared my throat, pretending it was nothing, and shielded the screen with my palm. The guy in question was sitting right beside me, by the window, facing the front. Theodore sat poised in silhouette, sharp jawline, cool composure, like he'd stepped out of a designer ad. I took a deep breath and mentally slapped myself. I sent him $200. Samuel's the one with balls. No hesitation, no bullshit, no games. He sent me a video straight away. The bar was dim and loud. Music thumping, voices overlapping like a blender on high. A guy in the footage looked totally drunk, clutching a square pillow like it was his lifeline, screaming wife with a mix of desperation and volume. Wife doesn't love me anymore. Didn't even show up for the game today. What's more important than me? Next one'll be better. No way. I can't live without my wife. A man's a man. Can't help it if he sticks to his woman. Who else is this hot, kind-hearted goddess? This was really Theodore? I glanced quickly at the person beside me, then back at the screen, then again, and once more into the video, pressed on my earbuds. My head felt like it had been struck by lightning, buzzing loud and sharp. Sensing something, Theodore tilted his face slightly, lifting one eyelid to look at me. What's wrong? His deep eyes were cold, like a vast white page spread out around him, and I was just an accidental drop of ink. I clutched my phone, and nothing at all, right? Like hell, this guy. Living up on a snow-capped mountain, straight-A student, and suddenly all lovey-dovey? I didn't buy it. Zhang, you're kidding me. Refund, but Zhang stood firm. Everyone knows videos can't be faked, and this? I saw it with my own eyes. Risked my life to sneak that shot. No way it's fake. You two are friends, right? Didn't you know he was dating someone? My chest tightened. I slumped face down onto the desk. So, Theodore actually did get into a relationship? A crisp three-pointer sliced through the net with perfect form. The crowd erupted in gasps and cheers. Theodore didn't react. He just waved a hand, signaling halftime. His sleeve lifted slightly as he wiped his face with the back of his hand. A flash of defined abs, smooth skin glistening under a sheen of sweat, rippling faintly with each breath. Sharp, clean lines that caught the light like something out of a dream. I wiped at my mouth, then just kept getting madder the more I thought about it. As his roommate, I should have had first dibs. Except the moment I realized I was feeling something different for him, it got crushed before it even had a chance. I cut through the quiet path along the edge of the field, hiding behind a tree as I watched him slam the guy who'd been about to confess to him. Hard and fast. Theodore's homophobic, judging by the stormy look on his face, and how he wiped his fingers over and over with a wet wipe after, like he'd touched something filthy. If he's this repulsed by even touching another man, the guy must be seriously off the charts on that scale. Lucky I was too nervous to talk and ended up scarfing down an extra sausage. Got here just in time. Otherwise, that would have been me with a busted face. The moment I felt something stir, like a little dream, I realized it was strictly off limits. Now I'm stuck pretending to be his best mate while I burn inside, constantly on guard. And then, someone slipped in without me noticing at all. Worse, it happened right under my nose. That guy just stole Theodore's soul and turned him into a goner. Who the hell is that low-life creep? I gripped my water bottle so tight, eyes scanning every direction, ears straining. A bunch of girls were lounging by the court. The class beauty, the enthusiastic senior, the innocent little sister. Theodore's girlfriend could be one of them. I'd already done my research. Everyone says guys who play ball usually only take a drink from their girlfriend, or someone they're crushing on. So all I need to do is wait until Theodore comes off the court and see which girl he heads straight for, and whose water bottle he grabs. Whoever that is, that's definitely his rumored girlfriend. I'm dying of thirst. Can I borrow a sip? The voice came from above. Before I could react, the bottle was gone. Half a sip already in Theodore's hand. I blinked up, my eyes catching on that bobbing throat muscle. Stunned. Wait, This doesn't add up. Did I misread it? She's not here? I rubbed my jaw, scanning the girls who'd handed over water and walked away empty-handed. What are you staring at? Theodore bent down, his face level with mine. Got a crush. He was close, too close, sweat still clinging to his skin after the game, warm and alive. He'd washed up before leaving, always too clean. And now that scent of soap clung to him like steam rising from hot pavement, cutting straight into my nose. I stiffened. No, I forced a grin, nudged him with my elbow. What do you think of William? Sky clear, sun bright, or maybe it was just my imagination. His face, usually unreadable, seemed to darken a little, shadowed and unclear. Theodore glanced over. The campus queen flushed, quickly looking away. You into her? He asked, light as a feather. He was supposed to be testing me, so why did it feel like he'd turned the question back on me? I can't take it anymore. Downed 2 packets of instant coffee and stayed up till midnight, staring at the ceiling. Crawled into the dark and shook Theodore awake. Theodore, tell me in secret. Have you been seeing someone? They say people are more honest when half asleep, their guard down. He rolled over and patted the empty spot beside him. Come on up. My ears burned. It was kind of awkward, though. Theodore muttered. You're too quiet. I can't hear you. All right, guess I'll climb in then. I slid under the covers and pressed close to his ear. Just tell me, he grunted, covering one ear and turning toward me. Why do you even care? I froze. My tongue tangled. Because, yeah, we're just friends. What right do I have to grill him about dating? I'd acted on impulse, but if I don't admit it, no one'll know. I clenched my fists and forced a calm tone. If you're finally going steady, then as your bro, I can't lag behind. I need to find someone too. Theodore was quiet for a long beat. I almost thought he'd fallen back asleep. Then I heard him say, no need. Not seeing anyone. No dating? I felt a flicker of relief, but that tiny spark died the instant it was born. If he's really not seeing anyone, then who the hell was he calling wife? When he was drunk that night, I wasn't giving up. I'd come this far. I needed to squeeze something out of him. So what kind of girl do you go for? Pretty ones, slim waist, long legs. In the dark, Theodore glanced at me, slow and steady. Yeah, right on. And he still says he's not seeing anyone. Guys like him are so shallow, only care about face and body. How tacky. A hot wave shot through me. I stormed up, ready to head back to my own bed. Theodore reached out and pulled me back. Just stay here tonight, he said, calm and considerate. No need running around. Don't wake everyone up. Either the sleep aid worked too well, or I was just stewing in my own anger. I lay there, I shut tight. Couldn't fall asleep no matter how hard I tried. His arm stayed locked around my waist the whole time and kept tightening. His knee pressed into my leg. His lips brushed against the back of my neck, breath brushing over my skin again and again, sending shivers down to my bones. How could someone sleep like that? My mind was a complete mess. I bit the edge of my blanket, fighting back tears. A whole night passed, and instead of getting answers, I ended up with 2 black eyes. Theodore had already hopped out of bed early to shower. Water was still running in the bathroom, and he hadn't come out yet. I was freaking out about what would happen if I walked past his bed later and some roommates saw me. It'd be a nightmare to explain. I dragged myself up, dazed and half asleep, and just like that, my thoughts came true. As I was halfway down the stairs, Michael let out a shout. What the hell? That voice, loud as ever, made me jump. I thought I'd been caught red-handed. Heart pounding, I turned around, then sighed. Michael's bed curtains hadn't even been pulled back. Figured he was up early again, grinding through some late-night match with friends. I rolled my eyes and let out a breath I didn't know I'd been holding. Thank God there were only 2 more steps left. Otherwise, I'd have broken something for sure, but instinct kicked in. I reached out and grabbed onto Theodore's backpack by accident, sending a whole pile of books tumbling to the floor. Theodore hated it when anyone messed with his stuff. Had to clean this up before he saw me. Wait, that's Theodore's notebook, isn't it? He always scribbled in it during class, whether the lecture was important or not. Once, I leaned over out of curiosity to see what he'd written, but before I could even read a line, he snapped it shut faster than lightning. All that secrecy just made me want to peek even more. Just class notes. Afraid I'd steal his first place or something. I just wanted to peek. No big deal, right? All right. Bracing myself, I flipped ahead with a grin. The first few pages were totally normal, standard notes. God, the handwriting's so clean. Even the doodles in the margin look good. Then, on the next page, Asterisk wife asterisk jumps out at me, written across an entire side. Seriously annoying. Especially that idiot who tried to steal my wife right after confessing. The ink gets heavier, like he's trying to stab through the paper with his rage. I shivered without meaning to, quickly turned the page. Finally found something worth reading. My wife's dimples are sweet. Her lips are gorgeous. Wanna kiss them? He points. Dimples, perfect lips. The little heart-shaped birthmark on my wife's skin is so unique, so adorable. Wait, Theodore's not gay, is he? My mind was a mess. I felt completely dazed. The dumpling in my mouth tasted like sawdust, dry and lifeless. It's not just me being full of myself. There really is a tiny birthmark there, about the size of a fingertip, and it's actually a perfect heart shape. But when exactly was it seen? I can't remember at all. What's on your mind? Theodore pushed a bowl of congee toward me. The green onions floating on top had been carefully picked out. Probably sensing I'd been zoning out, he glanced over at me. Be careful, still hot. My heart was pounding in my chest, and my ears burned with warmth. Was Theodore starting to feel something for me? My fingers tightened around the spoon. Theodore, you? Hey, Theodore. A cheerful senior dashed over, cheeks rosy with excitement. Oh, Samuel too, she said with a smile, her dimples perfectly symmetrical. Hi, senior. I mumbled, giving a stiff nod before lowering my head. Then I froze for a second, catching sight of the heart tattoo with a pair of wings on the senior girl's index finger. Dimples? And a heart. I've only got one dimple, but she's got two. That heart tattoo. Maybe Theodore thought it was a birthmark? So that's who he's been mooning over all this time. The senior. Close call, almost let it slip again. Once you say something like that, it's like an arrow shot from a bow, you can't pull it back. Getting punched is one thing, but losing our friendship. Still stuck in the same class, same dorm, seeing each other every day. That'd be brutal. I let out a quiet breath I didn't know I was holding. My throat and ears felt like they were stuffed with cotton. Itchy, heavy, awful. I didn't even notice what the senior had talked to Theodore about, or when they'd finished, or when she left. Samuel? What were you about to ask me? Theodore frowned, tilting his head slightly. The weight in my chest hadn't lifted. Another problem, right on time. For a second, I couldn't think of anything to say, nothing smooth or harmless. I pressed my lips together tight, staring at the half-eaten bun in my left hand. I pushed it forward. Nothing. Just thought I'd tell you this one's not great. Michael asked me for a ruler, then suddenly turned to stare at me. Samuel, why are you so down again? Why's he so down again? Come on, breakups happen, what's the big deal? I stared blankly into space, tossing the ruler into Michael's lap. Leave me alone, go bother someone else. Once I'd shoot him back to his own seat. I cradled my head, raking fingers through my hair before dropping my face into the desk. So messed up, just unbearable. That half-eaten bun. I'd meant to tell Theodore to toss it. The trash can was right behind him, easy pickings. I even thought, damn, my brain's sharp today. But what the hell did he eat it himself? We're like brothers. Sure, but he's got a girlfriend. I bit into it first. I tried to warn him. He didn't even flinch. Don't waste food. Don't waste food. Fair point, I guess. But the real issue isn't the bread. It's not about being careful with food. He finished it, then picked up his phone. I'm heading out. I'll see you back in the dorm later. No idea if he's fast or just long-legged, but 1 second he was there, next, gone. I dashed to the window. Sure enough, there was the enthusiastic senior waiting a few yards below, waving at him with a bright smile. She was saying something, and Theodore gave a modest nod. Perfect match. Looks like they were made for each other. It's been ages since he came back to the dorm, probably lounging under some tree, lost in sweet nothings with her and too shy to leave. Staring off into space for ages, the doorway suddenly went dark. Theodore pushed open the dorm door, arms full of stuff. Thank goodness you're back. Clothes still clean, no wrinkles. Lips look totally normal too? What the hell? This mouth's practically made for eating, and the senior didn't even leave a mark? Was it the senior who couldn't handle it? Or was it Theodore? What's this? I slurred, propping myself up on an elbow and squinting at the stack of notebooks in front of me. You were looking for this stuff, right? I borrowed it from the senior. Wait, what? You go on a date and then you need to borrow study notes? So damn cringy. My skin crawled. I opened my mouth. You guys? We're talking about this stuff in the cafeteria this morning, weren't you? Otherwise what? We're not a couple? I yanked up the hoodie's collar, blocking my face. After being heartbroken for so long, why did hearing this suddenly make me feel happy? My chest itched. Like I wanted to laugh, but couldn't. What's wrong? Theodore frowned, his expression tight. You okay? Is something bothering you? My mind went blank, my gaze darting off. No, I swallowed hard. My heart skipped. Out of nowhere, I leaned in almost on instinct. Maybe it's kind of hot. Wanna feel? His hand landed on my forehead, the same way a brother would check for fever. But when I hummed and rubbed my cheek against his palm, those usually steady eyes flickered. Like something deeper stirred beneath. My pulse kicked up. Could it be? Told you, you're sick. Michael suddenly jumped in, slapping his chest. Come on, bro. Let's get you to the hospital. My vision went dark. Seriously? Thanks. I said I was fine, but Michael insisted there was something wrong. Watching him lay out his analysis so confidently, I was itching to jump up and slap him, just for the sheer brilliance of it. Worst part, Theodore bought it too. He leaned in behind me, trying to talk me out of refusing treatment like I was some kind of hypochondriac. Seriously, unbelievable. Like, if I didn't have a problem, it'd be totally suspicious. Shoulder's been bothering me, I said with a smile, facing the doctor. Couldn't exactly say it was heartbreak. I'd be too embarrassed to admit that. Back in the dorm after my shower, I stared at those 2 bulky bags of pills. So damn annoying. Just about to toss them into the back corner to collect dust when I paused. My eyes drifted over to Theodore, quietly reading with that calm focus of his. Michael stopped by a late-night snack spot on his way back, while William headed off to spend time with his girlfriend as usual. That left just me and Theodore alone in the tiny dorm room. Perfect timing. I quickly peeled back the layers of plastic wrapping, and the fresh ointment landed in my hands. Theodore, I said, my face burning as I peered out from between the bed curtains. Could you do me a favor? Theodore didn't answer, but he set his book down. The instant he pulled back the curtain, his eyes flickered, like something had caught him off guard. I was on my knees in the sheets, heart thudding hard against my ribs. Sure, we were both guys, nothing to hide, but still, being around him made me flustered as hell. What's up? The flash of panic from earlier must have been my imagination. He was back to his usual cool, detached self. A little disappointment crept in, but he was here now, no way I could just wave him off like nothing happened. Luckily, the bed curtain blocked most of the light. He probably wouldn't see how red my face was. Can you help me put on some ointment? I quickly turned away, facing the wall. I can't reach it myself. Theodore picked up the tube, but didn't do anything. My fingers clutched the sheets so tight my knuckles turned white. I could hear my pulse pounding in my ears, nerves tightening with every second that passed. Was he even gonna do it? Did I just misread him again? Ugh. Samuel, you're such a clueless idiot. I'm just being friendly, nothing more. Why do you always overthink everything like this? Just about ready to turn around and say forget it. Then, a warm weight settled on my lower back, the brush of Theodore's hand. Stay still, he said. Where do you want me to put it? My ears burned, fingers fumbling. I pointed at my shoulder. The ointment was cool, pressed into my skin with a mix of light and firm pressure. Feels pretty good. Still, I regretted not being able to see his face. How could I tell if he felt anything back? Face to face like this, couldn't say my stomach hurt, could I? Samuel. Theodore suddenly spoke my name, his voice oddly rough. You still sore in the back? Want me to give it a rub too? The back? I hugged the bundled up blanket and twisted side to side. Not bad, I guess. Besides, why not? Might as well get the benefit. I nodded right away. Sure, there's an old saying. People shouldn't be greedy. No comfort came like I expected. Instead, before his hand even touched me, the chill from the ointment made my skin prickle, and I couldn't stop shivering, jerking forward every time. The balm was icy cold, making Theodore's hand feel even hotter by contrast. By the 5th time I cried out from the itch, Theodore pulled back, stepping away from that cramped space. I just remembered. I've got something to do. The dorm door opened, then shut. I just sat there, stunned, listening to his footsteps fade away. My mind went blank, staring into nothing until thoughts slowly started to fill the silence. Why'd he run? Did I mess up? Did he tell me not to move and I didn't listen and that pissed him off? Or was I never really his type in the first place? Does he not feel anything for me? just wants to get away, even for a second. Did he figure out my orientation? Does he think I'm disgusting? Questions swirled in my head all night long. I dragged myself to class with heavy eyes at dawn. My mood was as gloomy as the sky outside. I figured I wouldn't see Theodore today. After what happened, he'd probably be avoiding me. Then again, right before the bell rang, there he was acting like nothing had happened. Just like always, he took his usual seat beside me. Here, he said. A straw was already stuck in the milk carton. I numbly parted my lips and took a sip. Something's off. Before I could figure it out, Theodore turned back to face the front of the class. Only when I'd nearly finished the milk did I start to come back to myself. That notebook was there again, resting right under Theodore's right hand. Too far to reach without looking obvious, though. Seemed like he'd written something. What could it be? Another one about wife again? I sucked on the straw, feeling bitter. So he didn't go back to the dorm last night. Was he meeting his wife instead? Seriously jealous. Who the hell was she? Leaving half-painted meds behind, rushing off to meet her. What did she even look like? Finally made it through class break. Theodore got pulled into the teacher's office to pick up some forms. Poor notebook just sat there, abandoned on the desk. Sorry, he mumbled with a quick bow, apology delivered. Next time I snoop, though, don't you dare hit me. He flipped open the notebook carefully, scanning the latest pages. New lines praising his wife, added with giddy enthusiasm. Nothing original. Until the very end. Frowny face. My wife's so tiny, so adorable. Her waist is slim and soft. Rubbing in the ointment makes it even smoother. I love my wife so much. I'm sitting here, but my mind's up in the clouds. My face is burning all the way to my ears. I quietly slide the notebook back into place. Yeah, that wife label? Definitely me. I'm not even gonna question it. What are you talking about? Where's the thinness? Where's the softness? I rest my chin on my hand, my chest warm and fuzzy, feeling a little lightheaded, but not for long. Then I sink back down into the dumps. She looks so proper and put together. You'd never guess how much she's been feeling this way about me. Could it actually be a joke? Why is he hiding things like that? Anyway, why haven't you just told me how you feel? Theodore's a cold guy with a mind full of cheesy romance lines. Unverified version. But just now, right in front of me, he blocked another one of those random flirts again. Samuel Sr., I like you. A freshman I can't even place. Must have met him somewhere once. The letter came in a pink envelope. Looks nice, but the handwriting's terrible. Theodore stepped in front of me, voice icy. I saw you kissing a girl yesterday. The freshman went pale. You're wrong. Theodore smirked. Whether I saw it or not, only you know that. But listen, I don't care. Just so you know, Samuel's got a soft side, but that doesn't mean you're welcome to come sniffing around. Get lost. Go as far away as you can. The guy scurried off like he'd been burned. Theodore looked down at me, and I instantly grinned, giving him a big thumbs up. Nice one, bro. He crossed his arms, silent and clearly annoyed. If he really liked me, wouldn't he be all over this by now? Wouldn't he have finally said something? I rubbed my hands together. Inhale. Exhale. My heart's racing. We're almost at the dorm from the lecture hall. This walk isn't even that long. But he still hasn't said, I love you, once. I want to scream. I wanted to grab him by the collar and shake it out of him. Just scream, do you even love me? I kicked a pebble aside, then tried, half joking. Here Keith and Howard are getting married soon. I mean, two guys together. Kinda sweet, actually. Theodore's brow pinched tight. He let out a dry huff like he'd been hit in the gut. My confidence was on a roller coaster. Up, then asterisk whoosh asterisk. Straight down. Back when I saw what he'd scribbled in his notebook. Chills. Now, I almost wished he'd lay it all out right here, right now. Long time no see. Anyone up for dinner? Let's hit the hot pot tonight, I replied. Problem was, I was in one of those moods. Like my period had just shown up uninvited. Not feeling it at all. Was about to ghost the invite when someone chimed in. Better drink a few more. Drinking? Oh, that's actually not a bad idea. I grabbed Theodore by the arm and grinned. You in for anything tonight? He blinked, then shook his head. That night, I dragged him straight to the bar. Called it relaxing. But really, we were just surrounded by neon lights and a rainbow of drinks. Wanna try one? This one's not good. Here, try this. Oh, this is better. Go on. Taste it. One drink after another. I was practically pouring them down Theodore's throat. I was getting impatient. Last time on video, he went down after one. Now the bartender's shaking that shaker like it owes him money, and still nothing. Why re you staring at me like that? Who's looking at you? I was eyeing the guy in blue. Theodore followed my gaze. Pale, clean-cut guy, pretty much the type you'd see in 1,000 bars. No choice, he was just one of many guys over there. You into this kind? Theodore narrowed his eyes, a smirk that didn't reach his eyes. Which one's better, him or me? I nearly choked. Something about it felt off. Was he fishing for info? Was he even drunk? A beat of silence. Then another drink slid onto the table. I gripped the glass, bit down hard, took a deep breath, downed it in one go. Better drink myself under the table than wait for him to get there. Smart people make their own chances. Brother, I'm so dizzy. The alcohol hit my stomach, and I collapsed into my roommate's arms. I swayed unsteadily on my feet. Theodore steadied me. Watch your step. Don't go falling. A flash across my ear, flushed crimson. There was no way I was making it back to the dorm tonight. Not that there'd be any chance of me getting out at all. If things went sideways, thanks to my determined efforts, I'd managed to beat the curfew by a hair. Hotel, we're here. From guiding me in, to tossing me onto the bed. Theodore didn't waste a second once we were inside. Samuel? He loomed over me. His broad shoulders blocked the overhead light, dimming most of the glare. I was fully committed to faking it. Just groaning and mumbling brother every now and then, nothing more. A brief silence hung in the air. The bed dipped slightly beside me. I could feel Theodore drawing closer. Samuel, I heard it. I heard every damn word. My ears lit up like fire. I wondered how many times he'd keep saying it. Just as I was thinking that, he suddenly murmured, "Honey," right next to my ear. Knowing the nickname existed was one thing. Hearing it out loud was something else entirely. He's handsome, and his voice is smooth as silk. When he said, "honey," it felt like a feather brushing through my ears, soft, warm, sending little shivers down my spine. I made up my mind then. When he kissed me, I'd open my eyes and catch him red-handed. It had been at least half an hour now. He'd even gone and taken a shower while I was waiting. But then Theodore came back. All that touched my lips was the tip of his finger. I slowly opened my eyes, meeting his heated gaze. He froze, jerking his hand back. "You're awake." I gave him a long, slow look. He didn't blink, just stared back. I wasn't about to wait. I lunged forward and wrapped my arms around him. "Normally you're all kinds of lively. What's with the soft wife's waist? Now, when it matters most, you're backing down." Theodore was stunned. Rarely had he been speechless like this. Then he looked at me, small and quiet. "You know, don't you?" Feeling like a rabbit, while he was the hungry wolf closing in. The wolf was closing in. Is the rabbit toast? "Honey!" His voice dropped low. I bit my lip. My face burned hot. Breath brushed against the strands of hair falling across my forehead as Theodore tightened his grip, his fingers digging into my wrist until it ached. He exhaled heavily. A tension in the air like the calm before a storm. I squeezed my eyes shut, bracing myself. Screw it, when life gives you lemons, you might as well bite into one. Then, I heard him whisper, "Can I just kiss you?" So quiet it was almost prayer. My eyes flew open. I managed a weak smirk, then blurted out, "That's it, Samuel, you're such a wimp." Michael mocked, eyeing me sprawled in the sheets. "Didn't you go to the doctor last time? The meds didn't work?" This is weak." He slid over to my bed. "Maybe you're applying the ointment wrong? I used to rub it on my grandpa all the time. Let me give it a shot?" The words to refuse his kindness were just forming on my lips when I was cut off. "Nah, forget it." Theodore walked in with the food he'd just bought and a tube of ointment. Michael instantly turned into a sycophant, grinning. Yeah. Theodore's definitely more skilled than me, whether he was actually professional or not. Hard to say, but Theodore stood with his back to Michael, lips pulled down in a dramatic pout, as if he couldn't wait for everyone to know he was the world's biggest martyr. Between unwrapping the takeout, I mumbled softly to soothe him, then ruffled his fluffy head. Love-struck idiots are ridiculously easy to pacify. The low-key tension instantly melted back into normal. I dove into my rice, trying to dodge that unrelenting stare, while Michael went next door to game with the others. Somehow, he was already grinning like an idiot. "Honey," after practicing all night, the two words, once barely louder than a mosquito buzz, now came out as naturally as if he'd been calling me that since birth. "Theodore." Cut it out, fumbling hands under the table, sneaking kisses in the corner. Fine. When the hell did he learn to sneak into bed at midnight? Couldn't sleep thinking about you. How can he say something that intense with a straight face? The quiet guy who never says much is suddenly all over me. My lips are numb from his mouth, breathless as I press against his shoulder. You don't worry about what people think if they find out you're with me? Theodore's eyes burn into mine. Better if they all know. I feel my ears burning, lips parting slightly. Okay, I give. Back then you were the one who said you hated guys like us. Hated. He frowns, as if to prove he wasn't homophobic. He kissed me again. Soft, deliberate, like he couldn't help himself. I winced, wiping my mouth. Don't deny it. Back at the start of term, some guy hit on you. Remember? You went ballistic and knocked him out just for saying he was going to chase after you. Theodore pauses, then mutters, I beat him up because he told me I'd regret not taking him. After I turned him down, said he was going to chase after you instead. Terrified me. I'd lose my wife, who's way too adorable to be stolen like that. I ask, so you were already into me back then? Theodore nodded, completely head over heels. A hint of sadness crept in. But you kept insisting you were straight, that you weren't into guys. Still, you'd hook your arm around me all the time, always calling us just brothers or good friends. Who's gonna make up for this love I've been missing out on? Theodore pressed his forehead to mine. But it's not too late now. Tears welled up in my eyes. I brushed my lips against his. No, it's not. Later, we moved into the same apartment. Morning light spilled across the table. Theodore would hand me a peeled egg. In the evenings, curled up on the couch watching shows, he'd rest his chin on my neck. Our white shirts started piling up together in the closet. 2 pairs of slippers sat side by side in the shoe rack. No one ever mentioned brotherhood again. Just quiet whispers after the lights went out, when he'd press close and murmur into my ear, "Good night, my love."